is my very first. This is my very first Google Hangout, and I am testing the waters here to see how everything works and everything. So I will, when I really get to going with a lot of these Hangouts and everything, I will be seasoned and know what to do exactly. So just for right now, this is going to be a very short Hangout. As I said, my name is Walt Nelson, and I'm from Creative Freedompreneur. And uh, okay, so I see I can't have my volume up. So, okay, so I guess I have to have things muted. It's going to be a lot of stumbles and bumbles in this very first one, but that's okay. You got to learn somewhere. So as I said, Walt Nelson, Creative Freedompreneur, and I am a creative person. I'm a musician. I'm a graphics designer, web designer, and I've done that for many years. I've been working for myself for nearly 20 years. I've been self-employed, and I quit my job back in 1996, and I started a recording studio business in my home, and I grew that business into a successful multimedia company where I began to offer other services such as graphics design, CD duplication, a lot of services that dealt with helping independent musicians grow and be independent of a record label. If they didn't want to get signed to a record label, I was teaching them how they could get out and do this thing themselves without actually having to be signed. So uh, that was my niche, and I attracted a lot of local attention with artists, and I eventually left from my home. I actually opened up a brick and mortar studio, and I had a lot of clientele. I've dealt with literally, thousands of clients through the years. You're talking over 20, almost 20 years, tons and tons of clients. I've participated in so many different projects, helping these artists with their demos, helping them to get together their posters and flyers and everything, promotional materials, their CDs, anything like that. But that was my passion, and I was trying to really help these artists get to that next level because I had found my freedom in actually leaving that 9 to 5 job and going after my dreams, following my dreams, and I just wanted to help the other artists do the same thing. So these artists, they respected me, and I would give them a lot of input about what they could actually do to make this thing work for themselves. So eventually, though, I had gotten to a point where the business, as it began to grow, my time was, I had no time to myself. It was so busy for me because I would have to jump from project to project, just trying to pay my bills because once you take on a project as a creative person or you're in a service-based business, you get paid by the amount of clients that you got coming in giving you jobs. But those jobs require you to spend your time to complete those jobs. And so I had crazy overhead. And so I was just taking on everything that I could just to keep those bills paid, and at least on my building, I had, the utilities, plus I had my home expenses and everything I had to pay myself. So it was a lot that I had going on. And I looked up, and a long period of time had come by, and I hadn't even taken a vacation, hadn't done anything to pamper myself or anything like that. So I said, I got to have better than this. And I started looking around, exploring, and I found the online world. And I saw where there were people online who were actually living the lifestyle that I really wanted to live. They were traveling, they were enjoy themselves in the middle of the day and just going and coming as they please. They didn't have restrictions like I had. And I'm sorry, I saw something come up on my screen, but they didn't have the restrictions that I had. And I was here bound to my business. I thought I was free, but I found that I really wasn't free at all. Just because you own a business does not mean you're free. I mean, there are so many people who have these brick and mortar businesses, and they're locked in there. They got to go in there, and they're in there all day long. And I feel for them, because I was one of those business owners who was just locked into that business. So in this online world, I saw that freedom that I longed for. And as I began to research and study that world more and more, it became more and more appealing. And I said, okay, what can I do to actually begin to leverage my time over here in the internet? Maybe if I could do something part-time. And so the first thing I had gotten into was eBay, and actually that was the first thing that I had actually made some money for myself doing. Made my first dollar on eBay selling an ebook, and it wasn't my ebook, it was someone else's ebook. So that was the world of affiliate marketing, where you could actually take someone else's product with their permission and sell it, and you would get a percentage of it. But in this case, these were what you call resale rights ebooks, where you make your purchase of those ebooks, and then you can sell them for whatever price that you set to the next person, and they could do the same thing. So I got in right at the right time, and so I had a pretty decent eBay business going, where I was making money just while I was sleeping. And all of a sudden, eBay changed the rules, and they stopped doing the digital delivery of goods. They cut all of that out of their system and said, hey, you have to put everything on CD. And so that automation that I had going on for so long was just wiped out for me, and I had to start from scratch. So then I had to come up with another product, and it just, it was still a uphill battle. But I kept on looking and looking, and it wasn't until about 2012 that I actually found something that I said, okay, this is the one system that I know will be working for. I can work with, and it can work for me. And that was a system where it created residual income, and they had high ticket products, which is like one of the number one things you want to look for when you're going into business online. Something that can make you money over and over and over again with little effort, and then something that has big paydays. So to be able to have a $3,000 day one sale, $3,000 or something like that, those are great products to be dealing with. Now also just to have a residual income coming in, where you're just not doing anything, that's also great. And this product, this system had it all. And on top of that, the people that were involved were some of the nicest people that I've ever really dealt with. They were so willing to share and give of themselves, and helping other people to learn about how to do this thing to create a business online and create residual income. I was just won over, and I said, this is what I'm going to do. And I went to my first event with the organization, and it just blew me away. I met a lot of people. I heard the philosophy of the company. It really connected and resonated with me in the core values of the owner of the company. It was just pure in intent, and I said, this is definitely the place I need to be. And so I made a decision in about 2014 that I was going to leave my brick and mortar business behind, and I was going to focus strictly on building an online business. And that's what I did. I gave up the studio, and I moved my whole business operation into my home, back into my home. And I haven't looked back since. I work from home. I use my creative talents to come up with ideas, and it's just a great thing that you can actually do when it comes to just being at home and still making an income for yourself while you just use those talents. And the system has taught me marketing, and it's taught me how to uh, set up funnels that create income for me. And what I'm doing now is I'm taking my niche audience, the people who I've always worked with, the musicians, the graphics designers, web designers, and I'm teaching them how to do what I learned to do. And it's a great thing. I'm writing. I just finished my first ebook, and I put that out. This is a book that I wrote, not someone else's book. I spent the time, and I really told my story in this ebook, and delivered a message that I believe that anybody who wants to go into business for him or herself using their creative talents, they need to get this ebook. And if you wanted to get that ebook for yourself, you could go over to creativefreedompreneur.com/free-ebook. Or actually, if you just went to the website, creativefreedompreneur.com, you can register. You can get it. There's an opt-in box right on the side panel. Just put your name and email in there, and you can get that book sent to you for free. No strings attached at all. So, as I mentioned, this is going to be a short Google Hangout. This is my first, and I am just introducing myself here to the community. I'm out here on my YouTube channels and on my websites, on my blogs and everything, but I'm new to the Google Hangouts, and I want to attract more and more people who are interested in sharing their talents, their creativity to make an income. And if that's something that you want to do, you can connect with me. Look me up on Facebook, Walt Nelson, and I'll be glad to connect with you and share with you the system that I've been using. Okay, so that's it right now. This is all I really had to say. This is Walt Nelson from Creative Freedompreneur, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye-bye.